இது ப்ராப்ளம். இந்த ப்ராப்ளம் தான் நம்ம சால்வ் பண்ணியாச்சு. prove that tan alpha plus tan beta equal to 1 by root 3 நம்ம ப்ராப்ளம்.
Dear students, today we are going to discuss about the time independent Schrodinger equation. And before going to the core topic of this time independent Schrodinger equation, we have to know about what is the difference between the classical mechanics and the quantum mechanics. So basically what is mechanics means state, position or motion of a particle while it is subject to a force. So the state or motion of a particle while it is subjected to a force, that is called as a mechanics. So what is the classical mechanics and what is the quantum mechanics? We have to know the difference first of all, then only we can easily understand what is the quantum mechanics and why we are deriving the equations likewise. Classical mechanics is only deals about the macro things and the lesser velocity particles are a system of particles comparatively to the sunlight velocity. So when the classical mechanics going to deals about the particles which is going related or equal to the velocity of sunlight, then classical mechanics not solve the problems satisfactorily. So we need some another tools to solve or solve the problems of such as Compton effect, X-rays, hydrogen spectrums, like that. So we need some other special tool, mathematical tool to solve the problems. That's why we are finding a new branch from the classical mechanics, that is the quantum mechanics. The quantum mechanics deals the micro things such as atoms, nucleus, so very minimum in size and their energies and their energy levels and their characteristics. So quantum mechanics is mainly deals with the micro things such as atoms levels or nucleus levels, particles, and it is deals the radiations like relative to the light speed, right? So today we are going to talk about the time independent Schrodinger equation. So this Schrodinger wave equation is developed in 1925, sir. 1925. So de Broglie is used, Schrodinger used the de Broglie's ideas of dual nature, which means the matter and wave nature. He just incorporate the de Broglie's wavelength, that means lambda equal to h by p, and the general classical equations. So he is using the psi of r comma t wave displacement. This is called as a wave function. So what is the wave function means? Wave function is the probability of finding of a given instant of time of a particle. Wave function is a probability of finding a particle in a place in space at a given instant of time, that is characterized by a function that is called as a wave function. Right? Psi of r comma t, where r is the position, which means ex plus jy plus zk, and t is the time. So the differential equation of motion in three-dimensional, that is we know the well-known electromagnetic radiations wave equation, that is the Maxwell equation, that is del square y equal to 1 by u square dot dou square psi by dou t square. So del square is nothing but that is the three-dimensional operator. So we can rewrite that del square dou square psi by dou x square plus dou square psi by dou y square plus dou square psi divided by dou z square. Likewise the right hand side 1 by u square into dou square psi divided by dou t square, where u is the wave velocity. The solution of equation 1 is psi of r comma t is nothing but that is the psi naught of r e power minus I omega t, where psi naught is the amplitude of the given instant of wave, and it is only the function of the position and it is not the function of the time. So we are taking the only the position symbol only here. So differential equation of the second equation with respect to differentiate the equation 2 with respect to t, dou psi by dou t equal to sin naught of r e power minus I omega t within bracket minus I omega. Again we are differentiating the same equation. Dou square psi divided by dou t square is equal to sin naught of r e power minus I omega t minus I omega, and another one minus I omega. Simplify these terms. We know minus I and minus I, the multiplication of both minus into minus and plus, I and I square, omega into omega is a omega square, and then sin naught of r e power minus I omega t. Here we know the value of I square value is minus 1, and so that we are putting the minus here, minus into omega square sin naught of r e power minus I omega t divided by dou square psi by dou t square equal to minus omega square sin naught of r e power I omega t is nothing but that is the psi. So we are using the psi function of r comma t. So substituting equation 3 in equation 1 we have, substituting equation 3 in equation 1 we have, that is the value of dou square psi by dou t square, we are putting the values here. But we know that omega is angular frequency or angular velocity, that is that the value of omega equal to 2 pi nu, or 2 pi nu is nothing but that is the v by lambda or u by lambda. Here the velocity is u, so that is why u by lambda. So rewrite this equation, omega equal to 2 by u by lambda equal to omega divided by u into 2 by divided by lambda. Also we know that dou square psi by dou t square, there I will already have said that del square psi. So substitute the equation 5 and equation 6 in equation 4. We have dou square psi equal to minus 4 pi square divided by lambda square into psi. Simplifying this equation, dou square psi plus 4 pi square divided by lambda square psi equal to 0. This is the equation number 7. For introducing the concept of wave mechanics, we must put de Broglie's equation. That is, de Broglie equation is lambda equal to h by p, where we know that p is momentum is nothing but that is the product of mass and velocity. So lambda equal to h by mv. So substituting equation 8 in equation 7 we have del square psi plus 4 pi square divided by h square divided by m square b square psi equal to 0. So del square psi plus 4 pi square, putting the values of m and b, m square b square, we have values into the numerator, m square b square divided by h square psi equal to 0. This is equation number 9. Where E and V are the total angular and potential energies, and the kinetic energy is value T equal to half mv square. So half mv square equal to the difference between the total angular and potential energies, E minus V. So mv square equal to 2 into E minus V. So we multiplying the m on both sides, m square v square equal to 2 into m into E minus V. This is equation number 10. Substituting equation 10 in equation 9 we have, substituting equation 10 in equation 9 we have m square v square values are del square psi plus 4 pi square divided by h square into, instead of m square and v square we are putting 2m E minus V psi into psi equal to 0. So del square psi plus 4 into 2 equal to 8 pi square m E minus V divided by h square into psi equal to 0. So this is called as the famous Schrodinger time independent wave equation, where psi is the wave function. I have already told that what is the wave function. The wave function is nothing but that is the probability of finding a particle in a place in space at the given instant of time is characterized by a function that is called as the wave function, that is called as psi. So h cross, we know that h cross equal to h by 2 pi, where h is nothing but the Planck's constant. Its value is 6.62 6 into 10 to the power minus 13 sorry 10 to the power minus 34 joules per second. So h cross value is h divided by 2 pi. So Planck's constant per cycle. 2 pi means 360, which means per cycle. So h cross value is h by 2 pi. That is putting equation number 12. So subs equation 12 in equation 11. In equation 11, we can get del square psi plus 2m within bracket e minus v divided by h cross square. So where we are putting the 4 pi square divided by h square as a h cross square into psi equal to 0. This is the equation number 13. This equation is called as the Schrodinger time independent wave equation. So and another next one is the Schrodinger equation for a free particle, which means the potential energy of a particle is 0. We know that potential energy only exists when the particle is in stationary condition, which means the stationary rest condition. If it is called as a free particle, then there is no stationary or standard position to that particle. That's why it is called as a free particle. So there is no stationary point or stationary state of the particle. Then the potential energy gets 0. Then the 0 of this equation is only vanished. Then we are putting the values of a 0 is a value of potential energy is 0. Then del square psi plus 2m divided by h cross square e minus 0 into psi equal to 0. Del square, the next step, del square psi plus 2m e divided by h cross square psi equal to 0. This is what the Schrodinger equation for a free particle.